I love the challenge of building media in a region that hasn't historically had media. And I was like, hang on, never been to that Middle East place. I got on a plane, and for the next 3 years, I wasn't off a plane.
Richard, tell us about your journey here in Dubai.
We launched Lovin in Dubai on the 1st September 2015. 250,000 page views in the first month. I was like, great, this is going to be easy to sell. I couldn't sell it.
Right now, people are coming to you.
You create that demand. You publish the right stuff to the right audience, and you deliver a product. And you have a system in place with the right incentives that people need to hit their target.
And hard work always pays.
People will pay us dollars for 4 hours work.
You're going to sell this company one day?
I guess like...
Gladiators, today I have a gentleman I've been trying to see for the last year. Finally, we got him into the office, into the arena. Richard Fitzgerald, welcome. Richard, tell us about your journey. I know you own a company called Augustus Media. We were discussing that. Tell us about your journey here in Dubai. Tell us about your journey on online platforms and what brings you here today.
Yeah, so firstly, Dariush, thank you for having me on. Thank you for meeting in person. I love this podcast format as a way to meet first, so good to get to know you as well while we chat, and also impressive to see your setup here in the morning, people doing stretches first thing at 9 a.m. It's nice to see a team active like that. So thank you. Why am I here today? I guess my journey is I'm 40. I live in Dubai. I've worked since 2006 in the media space across 7-8 different companies, 3 core markets, and I'm from a Gaelic-speaking area in a remote farming place in Ireland. I went to boarding school, I went to UCD, I studied economics and German, commerce and language and business. I love the creative side. I love advertising as the fusion of commerce and creativity. And, from reading newspapers, Advertising Age and things like that, I landed myself, advertising to get into from the outside is hard. It's quite, the websites aren't that detailed. It's very industry focused. There's not a lot known about it. I had wanted to be a football coach and all that, and I love team building and motivation and everything.
Do you play football?
I don't now. I do triathlon instead, but I did for a long time. It took me a long time to realize that I wasn't going to be a professional footballer and then a professional coach. So, but that sort of transition into advertising was nice, and it was timely around social media, and I went headstrong early on into social media and just rode that wave in a way where I was on the services side, but I worked with the top social media agencies. It's how I ended up in Dubai. Even now, Augustus Media and Lovin Dubai is a social media business in many ways. But yeah, we're here. We want to be the modern media company of choice in the Middle East and North Africa. Independent media. I love the challenge of building media in a region that hasn't historically had media. Full stop. It really hasn't in many centuries. And then we're now, we're growing year on year since 2015. 30-40% growth year on year. Even now, we have 100 people. We'll do $12 million in revenue this year. Lovin is in 22 cities. We have Smashy Business, Smashy Sports. We have other channels. We have big studios. We have offices. Not that that's important in this day and age, but we have offices and 5 offices. And we're trying. We adapted our mission. We want to tell engaging stories. We want to be purpose driven. And it's exciting challenge. It's often in unattractive, I'll say unsexy space now. Media valuations aren't hot. It's hard for people to see the value in it, but it's exciting.
Wow. What brought you to Dubai? Was it straight from Ireland?
So I had a pit stop, a 2.5 year pit stop in London. I was in a digital agency in Dublin, and I was like, guys, you need to do this social media stuff. It was the end of 2009, and they just weren't moving.
You could see it. You could see it coming.
They weren't moving, and we had all the roster clients in Ireland. We had everything. We had Diageo, we had Vodafone, we had Coca-Cola, all their drinks, and I was an account exec, and I was setting up. I remember I set up a Twitter account
for your client,
Coca-Cola, and without charging them. I was running Twitter competitions before Coca-Cola had global social media guidelines. Because next year in London with We Are Social, I was the 20th employee of We Are Social. They started in 2008. They grew to 500. They've been bought by private equity a few times, Sao Paulo, Paris, all around the world. And I moved to London at the time when Irish people were moving because of the recession, I moved to take a pay cut. I moved for career, and I wanted a job in social media agency, and it was leading up to the Olympics. Dariush, I wanted to be in a zeitgeist city. I imagined, like, we talk about Rome at the time of Augustus, or Paris at the turn of the 20th century, where Picasso and other people were there, that creativity. And I thought London is where it's at, because I read about the art, I read about football teams, I read about media in Irish newspapers, and I'm like, I don't have that in Dublin. Dublin's cool, but it doesn't have everything. Correct. It doesn't have all the options. So I'm like, let's go. I went, I had a fixed gear bike, I lived in Shoreditch, I had long hair, I had a burrito date blog, and I flew around the city, and I was like, this is great. I loved it, and I left the job. I got another job. It was amazing. I loved London. I was 28.
When you got a job, you were in sales, and then you were account managing.
Yeah, it was an agency, so it was.
Have you ever been in sales? Have you been in sales?
Not directly, no.
Okay.
No, not directly.
We're going to go into them, because I guess you train salespeople now.
Yeah, we do, I guess, in a way. I think the way, alhamdulillah, we're a bit lucky that we get inbounds, so we kind of hire marketers who solve client problems, but we do have salespeople, absolutely. But I think it's more from the point of, from that agency mindset. Everyone in an advertising agency does sales.
Yes.
They just don't have a necessarily business development department. Like you pitch, you propose ideas. Indeed. And you know how to cost them.
Indeed.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I'm jumping because I love sales. I just wondered if you had sales experience. So you found a job in a advertising agency.
Yeah.
And some of your clients were the large drink companies like Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You saw a future in social media. Just going back a little bit, I think about 30 years ago, I owned the majority of the web domain names for Premier League football clubs.
Okay.
And I just could see something with the internet. Nobody will buy it.
A long time ago.
I said, let's open up a website. What's a website? Nobody will do website. What the hell is the internet? And after about 18 months, I gave them away. I own all the domain names, liverpoolfootballclub.com and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but nobody had the vision at the time.
Yeah.
I quit. I quit too early.
Maybe, yeah.
Definitely, I could have been quite wealthy. Yeah. I didn't have much money. I had an older partner, and I kept saying, no, internet is the way forward. Internet is the way forward. But just didn't get it. Maybe it was just over 30 years ago. But just didn't get it.
I guess like timing's an interesting thing. I think you can ride waves in different ways. We compare and we might say, hey, that 20-year-old or that 24-year-old knew internet and they hit and they sold and they exited. I kind of admire what Gary Vaynerchuk has done over time. I spent some time with him and asked him some of these questions, and he said, well, I'm not going to build a platform. I'm going to build a toll bridge on top of it and charge the taxes. And he has 700 people or more now in VaynerX. So he's an agency, right? Obviously, there's investment, there's brand Garvey. But, I'm not Mark Zuckerberg, right? I haven't created a platform, but I definitely have had a career that's ride the social media wave. And like anyone who lives in Dubai, the economy since about 2017 onwards, apart from Corona, we have had a boom, and we are riding the wave of factors, macro and micro factors around us. So yes. You don't necessarily need to sort of cash out on this or that, but like just be, I don't think you quit too early. I don't know your whole story, but you're still in it. You're podcasting, so you're still in digital. I kind of went
in and out, but I saw opportunity in cloud. But I'm just not technical, because I realized people were carrying information on the laptops. Fair. And they weren't sharing it anywhere. Laptop went down, all your data went down. I thought there's a huge opportunity in cloud, but I didn't get into it.
Yeah.
I kind of missed these boats. I used to have
That's a good insight, yeah.
I used to have the fastest growing mobile phone company in the UK, and I heard that it was 98% saturated, and I quit. And I was making millions. I didn't realize that people will change phones because of fashion. At the time we weren't even surfing the net. We were just seeing text messages. So my life's been trials and tribulations, and at times I think, I was onto something good. I should have just persevered.
Okay.
And I just didn't stick it out enough. I'm 58 now, so it's about time I stopped. This came as the podcast was just a coincidence. COVID came, and I started interviewing people online. It's done really well. We get 4 to 10 million views
Okay.
This is amazing. Our traffic's amazing.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got to go back. London. And then what happened from you were 2.5 years in London. And then what brought you to Dubai?
Yeah, so fascinating. So I was in 2010 to 2012, and I thought London was the place to be. It has the Olympics. But what I realized is London's already built. And the energy of building a city wasn't there. The trains moved, the tubes moved in a certain way. The pace was a certain pace because everyone had their jobs. My bosses, I was 28, my bosses were in their 40s. There was a ceiling. I had to wait. I was in Shoreditch. I saw people 10, 15 years older than me with cool T-shirts, but they didn't fit as well, and they had bags under their eyes, and etc. And I thought, is this my next 15 years? And I remember being headhunted a little bit. Had some calls. Fitzgerald cycling through Liverpool Street on January 2012, hands shivering after a late night at work. And I was like, hang on, never been to that Middle East place. And I interviewed with Ogilvy for a head of social media role. Didn't happen, forgot about it, back to work. And then I got a job at Mindshare, head of social media. So this was 2012, and I'd been looking at social media since 2008. So they were kind of 4 years later here at that time.
Yes.
They didn't have a social media department. And I remember saying to my boss, mentor, a guy called Shane, and he said, Rich, don't go there. There are 2 million people. And he did this thing with his eyes and blinkers for those listening. Like, you're looking inwards, like, go somewhere in Asia, go somewhere else, and
bigger markets.
Yeah. And I landed and I met all the people who'd set up these network agencies, often Lebanese or etc. in the late 90s in Dubai. And I realized that they had built it. They owned them. There was leaders. There was not 50 years, but there was 20 years of media history here. And they had 12 offices across Middle East and North Africa with free reign. I got on a plane, and for the next 3 years, I wasn't off a plane. I was in Iraq to Kuwait to all over the region. I hired 30 trilingual graduates in Beirut. Mindshare 300 clients, and they were all my clients. The 12 MDs of these offices were TV buyers, and they needed Richard in every meeting. They needed a social media guy. Luckily, I was young, and I just ran. Like, I didn't know what Dubai was because I was just everywhere across the region.
Did you have a family then? Do you have partner, family? Nothing?
I didn't. I had visitors from siblings, and only lately am I engaged in getting married. And thank you. But only lately. So at that time, but even think, I don't think that's the reason. I think I just was running around, and I
was free.
Yeah, I was free. Pretty much.
So were you ambitious? Do you want to run your own company at the time?
I did, yeah. I often had conversations in that career, just like you would have over the years with entrepreneurial ideas. Is that the right partner for me? Do I have self-confidence enough? Is it an imposter thing? Can I go and do it on my own? I remember once there was a guy, they were ERE homes, and my friend worked for them, and he was going to give me a few $100,000 dirhams to set up a social media agency. And we had a meeting, and he met his friend after, and he said, I don't think he'll ever be ready. And I probably wasn't. And I just couldn't find the right person. It didn't fit. And I was coming back from Beirut in 2015, just before the summer. I just let someone go, and I flew down to do the not nice job. And I sent an email to someone who'd set up a tech social media company. I said, I'll do your MD. I wanted the next level because I only reason I ever left a company is when my employer didn't match my ambition. And then I became his MD. And then at the same time, my friend Niall had set up Lovin Dublin. And I was like, I'll run that over here as well. So I was and I had 3 months sort of notice period and everything. Yes. So it was the summer of 2015. And I was MD of Brandster, and I was, founder of Lovin Dubai from the 1st of September 2015. Like with NOCs and with hired a journalist from ITP to run Lovin Dubai, and had this thing going on in DMCC, 2 companies, and it was super stressful. But 8-9 months in, I choose one. I choose
Lovin.
I choose Lovin, and at that point, all my documents, all my business planning, were all a real-time social media agency. Everything was, we need to do this stuff faster.
Yes.
This 9 to 6 model of servicing clients doesn't work.
No, it's 24/7.
It's 24/7. And how do you do it? Is it bots? Is it technology? Is it community managers in bedroom in Beirut doing customer service for Saudi clients, $5 an hour, getting annoyed and angry, and me then having to be dressed down in Riyadh, shouted at basically. Like, how do you do it? How do you do this model? And what happened was, Lovin Dubai became the real-time social media agency. It became the thing that I was thinking of on the media side rather than the agency side. We still serve clients, but we have free reign, kind of free reign.
You need traction, you need traffic. So, first of all, to have the Lovin Dubai, do you need the government's permission to have Dubai in your domain name? I don't know.
So that question is a valid question in terms of can you use Dubai as any brand? I think what they said to us is that as long as it points back to, as long as Augustus is the company ownership, Dubai domain is fine. Wow. Then which license do you get? So we have different licenses. We're now all under TCOM Media City Production City, so we do online publishing, online broadcasting. But then we have a second license, which was the NMC, the National Media Council. It's now MRO, Media Regulatory Office, and that's Are We Cool to publish each year.
Yes.
So that's the only.
So they do random
regulation.
checks to make sure that it's all positive, it's all good, not political.
Yeah, pretty much. I&A would never. We don't even think like that. That it's all positive, all good, and not political. They actually do want to do media that's in line with media guidelines, which are in line with the constitution of the region, which is Islamic, which is different, and it doesn't mean it's positive or not political. It can be political, but it just doesn't have to offend the Prophet, peace be upon him, the leaders. Why would we? In terms of. And then defamation. Why would I say that Dariush isn't excellent leader for his team? Why would I say that? How dare I impact your ability to earn a living? And it goes further. I'm not a journalist, right? My background's different, but we hire journalists. Just because it wasn't part of the First Amendment in 1774 in one part of the world doesn't dictate what happens here. Yeah. The history is longer than that period, right? What happened before that? The printing press came before the First Amendment, a few hundred years before the First Amendment. True. So I love the first printing press in this region. For someone who loves history, is in the Bibliothèque in Scanderia in Alexandria. You can still see it, and it's in the 1820, right? So Gutenberg's printing press of the 15th century didn't make it. The Ottoman Empire,
300 years.
They banned it. The Ottoman Empire didn't have printing press, apart from the Quran. They didn't, but it wasn't allowed. Wow. The first printing press in Riyadh is in 1953.
No.
Yes, the first
not that
media.
Long ago.
Not that long ago. The first media guidelines that are being rewritten now were in 1973. Asharq al-Aswad and Arab News from SRMG, the Hafiz brothers in Jeddah, published this newspaper in 1975. The UK Times started in 1775, 200 years difference.
Yeah, incredible.
English newspaper. The New York Times and those ones are 1850. So we're in a young... And when people say about guidelines and censorship, I say, okay, cool. Is the internet banned? Are you, when you publish on this podcast on your 800,000 subscribers on YouTube, are you being censored?
None at all.
Well, you would have been under the Ottoman Empire because there wasn't a printing press.
Wow.
So I think we need to understand a growing industry, and I love that the media guideline isn't copying the First Amendment. I love that it's this region. I love that it's something new, and that inspires me.
You mentioned the number of Islamic wars, like inshallah, alhamdulillah. Have you changed religion? Are you a Muslim now?
Yeah.
Wow. How did that come to be?
It's recently, so I guess it's a natural process. I haven't talked about it on the podcast, but
you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind asking. My fiance. I guess. I grew up in a Catholic family in Ireland. I went to Jesuit boarding school, and I would be spiritual, but I think religion is an important part of the world. I think respecting other religions, and 1 in 4 people on the planet are Muslim. And I think the world has a Islamophobia problem that we don't talk about. If you're covered in France in a cafe, people won't talk to you. I think there's a huge issue there. So I kind of feel strongly.
Nationalism is growing now in Europe.
Totally, yes. Yeah, and in England, in many places. So it aligns with my current values. It's an evolution. It's a process I've been going through, and I wouldn't say I know everything. I did the Shahada. I've done courses. I attended a mosque for the first time.
Was that because of your fiancé, or prior to that you were searching?
I wouldn't say I was searching. It's because my fiance and the desire to have a family.
She
that
is Middle Eastern?
Yeah, she grew up in Riyadh. She's from Egypt, and when we have a family, to have a united, something that isn't confusing for our children, I think is important.
Beautiful.
I had that, and I think something really inspiring about going through a process of learning a new religion and understanding other people and things like that. But yeah, I will go through it personally and privately, and I'll go through that process.
Sure.
Respect the question.
Yeah, it's okay. I like people listening and going, that's interesting. He's a white man, born as a Catholic. Now he's converted, and I'll look into it. They're going to look into it, right? They don't have to judge, and some people do. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
So you started Lovin Dubai, coming from Lovin Ireland, was it?
Niall Harbison had Lovin Dublin.
Lovin Dublin. So because cities, not countries, isn't it? Right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So what happened to Lovin Dublin? Is that still going?
It's not really. It's kind of changed. So he left in 2018, and it moved hands a few times. Mm-hmm. It is under. So the modern media thing happened. We say text, audio, and video, like the domains that you spotted on the internet that you talk about. If you're born in this period of time, you don't set up a newspaper, you don't set up a radio station, you don't set up a TV station. You can, but we think of it as streaming, podcasts, apps, social vertical video, and newsletters. We think of that as mediums now. Mm-hmm. We don't think of the TV box or the radio. So a lot of it, all those 5 mediums are powered by the internet. So, around that time, around 2012, 2015, Facebook were doing interesting things around the algorithm. They were allowing clickbait. They were driving lots of traffic to publishers. Mm-hmm. Then 2018, they moved into live streaming. We all remember the Ice Bucket Challenge and the video views. Mm-hmm. And now it's evolving. They were pushing 3-minute things. Now they're going back to shorts and all these. So these are things that dictate how people consume content, and mobile phones, obviously, and the text, audio, and video on that. So I was sitting in Mindshare office in Business Central Towers, managing all these teams and departments. And I asked in the office, I said, hey, are your clients asking for different types of publishers? And they said, Rich, the lifestyle stuff is saturated. And I was like, cool, but they're not digital. They're magazines. They're not digital. And they go, yeah, but there's loads of them and clients are happy. And I was like, yeah, but they're like, no, Rich, do something else. Do finance or do
take
music.
Your focus somewhere else.
Yeah, do something that isn't saturated, because there was Time Out, there was What's On, there was Stylist, Shortlist, there was all these things. There was Saidity, there was other things online. And anyway, we launched Lovin Dubai on the 1st September 2015, 250,000 page views in the first month. 23 reasons you must visit Dubai once before you die. And it just popped. Mm-hmm. And I knew traffic, I knew the internet.
On what platform was it?
It was a website. It was lovindubai.com.
Really? Okay. It wasn't a Facebook page. It wasn't an Instagram page.
It had those. It had those, and Facebook drew the traffic. And we obviously built SEO, but we did everything. We still have a large newsletter. We do everything. Now we have 240 social profiles. We have all these different things. I think we have 14 shows on podcasts and all these different things. And but Lovin Dubai did pop. And I was like, great. This is going to be easy to sell because I know everyone. I couldn't sell it.
So for a period of time, it was just a free service, free website. You put it out there, you got traffic, but you weren't earning anything. So you were funding this from your pocket, from your salary, your savings.
Yeah.
How long for?
For about 18 months.
Wow.
I was working at Brandster until 1st of May the following year. I came in as editor. I can't spell. I won't say I'm dyslexic. It'd be an insult.
I'm dyslexic.
Right? I think it's a trait. And we're also share hairstyle as well. But so basically that was that. It was a real struggle, Dariush. I won't lie. $140,000, $160,000 went in from 3 friends and me, my brother, and that money was gone. And I had to take social media clients, Infinity Middle East, Nikhil Malls. I had to take social media clients. I was in a co-working space in JLT. My bike broke. I couldn't replace it.
For Nikhil Mall to come to you when they could have gone to agencies, you are a salesman.
Indirectly. I guess there are some sales traits. And
that's one heck of an account. Do you mind if I ask then how much the retainer was?
So that was through Brandster. My retainer with Infinity Middle East was 50,000 dirhams a month.
Okay. It's big amount.
They're big clients. I had a reputation. I had worked with HSBC, Nissan, Infinity. I'd set up all these social media profiles.
I see.
So they trusted me. And this is an inspiring thing for people. In London, I don't think that would have happened. Like, people think these big named agencies are important, but also it's relationship.
Always relationships
You know,
first.
they didn't
that
care.
trust and belief in the other person.
Totally.
Yes.
I was pitching against TBWA and I won the social media client. I was Richard with Augustus no one knew what Augustus was.
Wow.
It wasn't even an agency. And they gave me a global automotive client that saved my business.
Wow.
I had it until 2018.
Wow.
And we only really
So the
started.
cash flow gave you breathing space.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how many for something like Nikhil? Because I used to have 300 social media clients.
Okay.
And I never put more than 2 or 3 staff. They were all SMEs. I never put more than 2 or 3 staff per client because I just thought it was just so much resources were involved in managing a site because this is 24/7. We pulled out because, again, right? I could have stayed, maybe sold it. But I just thought it was too much manpower.
Yeah.
It was really draining. So you, as I was kind of toning down, you were growing. Who's the guy? Stephen Bartlett. He started a social media company quite late.
Yeah, he
and
did.
what was different about him? Why did he end up selling it and making a fortune when people were saying every Tom, Dick and Harry was doing social media?
I don't know how much he made on that one. The social chain out of Manchester. They had a little different model than we are. Social. They sort of early spotted that influencers can push your stuff further and amplify. He obviously made different.
So he worked with
routes.
influencers.
Yeah. They kind of copped on early on. I'd say 2014, 2015 that you can amplify stuff. So you have your retainer, that's your FTE model. You have your account manager, exec community manager. You do your campaigns. And while We Are Social and others said the only way to get heard is if you boost these as well. So they opened a paid department. But what Social Chain did is like, let's embrace the influencers early. So he also pulled out of that. And I don't think it was a big exit compared with the $500 million or so that We Are Social got. I think there was some German thing going on there. I don't know the details.
But it was a great PR for him.
Yeah, and he was very good at it. They were very good at it. But I think whereas Gary Vaynerchuk has kept VaynerX and still has many clients, they have then gone into creative storytelling and Super Bowl ads, and then he has Brand Garvey separate, whereas Stephen Bartlett has done the brand thing. Diver CEO is huge, and the book, and etc., and then he has other investments on the side, but that thing that kept us up at night, that social media service stuff, he sort of moved away from that. But I go back to it. I think you can. We don't do it anymore. We do the Lovin stuff, but I think you can make margins on it. So going back to that boss I had in London,
yes.
I had a social media department in Southwark in a 400 people agency. We were doing $600 million of paid media. We're part of Group M. UK is a big market. There was $1 billion spend going through our group clients. And I had a social media department, and it was used as an add-on, and I was like, no, it has to be a new revenue stream. So I proved to Mindshare over here you can do it as an FTE margin. That's why they let me hire the kids in Beirut. Yeah, and we did this margin thing, and I believe in it. And when I started Lovin Dubai, I used to have to fight to get $5,000 a month retainer, and the clients would eat you up. They'd have you at every meeting, every minute report, everything.
Because it's a big chunk, it's a big dicks, and they wanted their everything out of it.
Like the PR agencies charge 30,000 dirhams a month, but you're extended employees for them, and you can't really make margin.
You were selling your soul.
You are, and it's so tight. Like the global WPP margin, operating margin is 15-20%, bigger than Costa Coca-Cola, which is 6%, different to coffee and whatever, but like services should be higher. Like if we think of Accenture, but social media was really hard to make the margins,
correct.
Which is why this region, it was a content calendar commoditized, race to the bottom. That Excel sheet with 30 days and the day of the week with that image and the copy in English and Arabic, it was commoditized. There was people doing it for 5,000 dirhams a month. And what I see now is, Lovin Dubai, people will pay us $5,000 for 4 hours work to attend an event in an evening and do a reel because we have too many followers, and we'll guarantee them 150,000 views. So back then, Mindshare wouldn't let me. I remember trying to do Yas Malls in Abu Dhabi, and they were like, the RFP said, hey, we need you for, during Eid al-Adha that's just passed. there would have been beautiful cultural dancing in the malls. Where's your community manager, Rich? In Beirut, guys. Like they can't go there with the phone. So for the first year of Augustus, I was running Lovin Dubai, 14 hours a day.
Phones in your hand.
Publishing, and I was running around the malls doing the videos for Galleria Mall on the Pan, for Imbatuta Mall, for the other one out in the desert, Dragon Mart 2, and I was doing all that as a client.
This is not that long ago.
And I was 35, and I was a community manager because I was hustling. I needed to pay the bills at the end of the month. But the margins, what I'm saying is, if you get media right, the margins are higher.
What was driving you, Richard? Wealth, money, power,
I don't know.
independence?
Things that drive.
Make a difference?
Yeah, drive comes from within, and people who have drive know they have drive. They've got that little bit of anxiety, a little bit of that self-actualization, a little bit of like, I want to prove, I want to emulate my father who passed when I was young, who had businesses. How old was he? How
old were you?
He was 48, I was 6.
Oh, similar to me.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, 4.
Oh, wow.
I was 4. He was 29.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had a lot to prove. I had to be the breadwinner. I had to look after the family.
Were you the eldest?
Yes, the oldest. Yeah, you as well.
No, my brother was older, but yeah, similar. Like.
Yeah, it was constant. You had to provide. It's your responsibility. You got to man up. You got to. So since the age of 14, not the smartest guy, but the hardest worker in town.
Amazing.
Yeah,
and
I was.
Still
still are even my age. It's just automatic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And once you enjoy what you do, it's not a job anymore. You just do it. I remember. It was Friday in the UK. My colleagues were in the pub. And I was door knocking till midnight. And I lived in Manchester, and I was door knocking in Northampton till 10 o'clock at night. I was home at 3 a.m. with 2 kids in the house, wife and 2 kids. But to me, it was just normal. I had a wife who was understanding, and she supported me. But hard work was just normal. I wasn't in the pub. I just worked hard. And hard work always pays. Maybe you have to be a bit smart as well, plus the hard work. But it always pays, doesn't it?
I totally agree. Yeah.
So only 5 years ago, you were community managing, account managing, running around with the phone in your hand. What was that point that we turned into a proper business? Was it a one big client that brought the money in? You thought, now I can hire a community manager. Now I can do this.
All gradual, and still, I'll still go and do I'll roll my sleeves up. I'll still do the work. When I go to a new city, and I want to post on Lovin Muscat, Lovin Cairo, I'll do it. So it's gradual. I took them all to Sahel in the north coast in Egypt last summer. We had 80 people, and we did a presentation, and we were like, in the next 18 months, we're going to be 120 people. I need to evolve as a leader.
You paid to take 80 of your staff to Egypt. Wow.
From all parts of the region.
Wow.
From Saudi, from Muscat, from...
So your 100 staff are all over the Middle East right now?
Yeah.
Wow,
we have 2 journalists in Gaza.
Incredible.
Baghdad, Khartoum, Islamabad.
How do you hire them, and how do you manage them?
Like you have your values and you ask your team values. We have values. We have online systems. We have employee manuals. We empower other people to manage. I believe in building entities that people do report to. I believe in the structure of an office.
So you have a culture where it's systemized, there's reporting, yet there's empowerment to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
They own it.
Velocity, tenacity, and ingenuity. So the tenacious is harder you work today, more get rewarded tomorrow. Velocity is all about momentum, all about action, moving things forwards. But knowing you can't do everything at the same time. Mm-hmm. And then ingenuity has a lot of behavior types under it, like the others, and this is the empowerment one.
Wow, amazing. And you kept that going over the last 9 years, from day one onwards.
We're building the train tracks. Like, I could have sat here in Dubai and let Lovin Dubai be a brand and sold it like an influencer brand. I'm like, going back to the media and Inspired, I'm getting licenses in all these countries. First foreign-owned company in Saudi Arabia, licenses, train tracks, like build for the future. This Empire thing, Augustus, all these people who, it's a 50, 60-year vision. Rupert Murdoch is 93 and he's still hands-on editorial. These names have connotations, but it's this sort of thing of like building something for long-term and meaningful. And I love that. I love that longevity aspect to it. And yeah, sure, like 11 of those journalists we need better reporting structure for them because they're in their bedrooms in Amman, Jordan. But then we'll gradually build it. Like yesterday, I came into the office and I'm stressed because it was a day that people didn't know if we had offer or not in Dubai. So we were thinly resourced.
Because of the Eid.
Yeah. So and then with the wrong people covering Lovin Dubai, and I get super stressed.
Because you want highest quality, high standards of reporting.
Yeah, and the wrong image selection, of which there were some yesterday, irritates me. No end.
So you're still hands-on. Which is your biggest platform right now?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Absolutely. Definitely. Really, UAE is our biggest business.
Yes.
Of our 12 million, we'll do about 70-80% of our revenue here. In Saudi, Instagram isn't as big, so we're really big on Snapchat in Saudi.
Okay, and Twitter, I believe, is quite big.
Twitter's big, yeah. YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. Twitter's making a comeback now. It had a bit of a iffy algorithm period, but it's making a big comeback. Yes. It's all this shift to vertical video now, shorts and stuff, as you know, yeah.
Amazing. Now you're more mature market for you, although it's immature around the world. Do you have to convince a lot of your clients, or they coming knocking on your door saying, "Hey, I want traffic, I want eyeballs, I want attention, I've got this on the table"?
Yeah, a bit.
Is this what's happening now, or do you have to? Because I guess 9 years ago you had to go and convince people.
You definitely did,
and takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
You try to convince non-believers.
Behavior. You have to build a market. You have to build that demand. Yes. As you know, in sales, like. Back then, Ireland and UAE were similar. 10% of digital budgets marketing budgets were in digital. UK was 20-30%. Now, in the last 12 years, we're at 50% a year. Most people spend 100%
still
on
too
digital.
Low. Yeah, it's still too high.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lovin is a bit of an impulse buy. Dariush, like sometimes I get DMs. We get a lot of DMs. Like businessmen, women are at the gas station and they see a post and they're like, I want that, and it's DM, can I have that? So it's an inbound, it's a self-service.
You don't wake up in the morning looking for that service, right? You hit the eyeballs, you get their attention and go, yes, I'll book, I'll pay, I'll click, I'll review.
Absolutely. And at the same time, they started allocating more. That social media spend of the 6.2 billion digital advertising MENA spend, that wave, I made a big LinkedIn post last week that's causing a little bit of a stir, saying we've got a leakage problem because 4 billion of that money or so, give or take, is leaving the region. It's going to Amazon, Alphabet, Google, Meta, TikTok, X.
Well, whilst we could keep it here,
and
generate jobs, and
they say that they are generating. They're not. It's salespeople. Like Dublin is generating jobs. 3,000 Facebook people. It's not happening here. In the
they're doing the deals and sending the money abroad.
The money's gone, and it's going to parts of the world where, if I'm on the board of these companies, I'm not being asked, are you investing in this emerging market? I'm being asked, are you investing in Africa or Indonesia or whatever? No one cares about here. And so they're not investing. Mohammed Al-Abar said when he was launching Noon, if Jeff Bezos came to my house, I'd spike his dinner, as a joke, because he wants indigenous jobs. Like 6.2 billion could be spent here, and it's not. This is investment that could go here. And what's first, egg before the horse or whatever. But if you I was in Egypt recently, and fascinating, down in the Red Sea, right? So 2 countries have the Red Sea. A lot of countries have the Red Sea, but Saudi and Egypt, right? And Hamad bin Salman won't change the name of his 23 5-star hotel project. He needs Red Sea in it. He won't call it something else. He's got Qiddiya Giga Project, he's got Alula Royal Commission, he's got NEOM, but he'll keep the name Red Sea because he wants to own the Red Sea. He doesn't want them across the sea to have it.
It's like the Persian Gulf.
Arabian
Gulf, yes.
So the Red Sea needs to be a Saudi brand, like Welcome to Arabia is a tourism thing for Saudi Arabia. And down on the
By the way, can I ask you, because I was thinking about this yesterday, they had pirates, right? They don't have pirate issues anymore. They still do.
They're through the
further south towards Yemen, is it?
They're actually on the Arabian Gulf, so they're not in the Red Sea. They're not with the canal. They're actually in that pit with Iran and UAE. They're in there.
Okay. So the pirates are.
Yeah. So
Yemen. Really? I thought it was more.
Oh, you're right. Somalia did have, but that was further down.
That's Egypt's
Africa.
problem. because it's African
Yeah.
side.
It's
Because,
kind of
because
Somalia.
a lot of these neon projects on the east side, aren't they, of the Red Sea?
Absolutely.
That's perfectly safe, I guess.
Yeah,
Because the Saudi Navy looks after them. Because I was thinking, I was like, oh, well, that's where the Somalian pirates are.
Yeah.
How far away is that from the... Anyway, just a random question.
yeah, I think Somalia is further south,
It
so
is.
we don't often hear of the pirates in that area.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a big ocean, it's a big sea. But my observation was that well, if we want tourists to Egypt, we have to build a hotel. So if we want media here, we have to build the media, and then only if you have something can people choose to go on tourism. Like it's a bit of both, right? But the point was that that people need to believe in the region, and there's investment here. But yeah.
Are you getting involved now in that level, government level, about the investments and
Yeah, absolutely. We have
driving traffic? And
we have a really good, healthy relationship with the media offices, and there's a lot of them. So we've been invited to starting. We go to the media forums. We've been invited to be involved in conversations, a new board being set up, and stuff like that. But like my point generally was that back then there was there's been a few deaths recently, but one of them that passed away this week was a guy who set up Impact BBDO, Khoury, and there was Lebanese advertising legends, right, who set up all the agencies, and they majority owned them. They had 51%, and Martin Sorrell and them had 49%, and these publicists and whatever. So on one side you had Arab leaders on the advertising side, building an industry, fighting for the industry, keeping money in the region. And the other side, you had NBC, which in the glory days, you had Shweri selling all the advertising. But when I came here, NBC used to say there's Islam and there's NBC, like as in we are so influential, and that was only 10, 15 years ago.
shift.
And the TV, there's 340 or whatever in 22 Arab speaking countries. At 7 o'clock back in the day, during Ramadan, 90 million people would watch the Ramadan shows, Pan-Arab TV. And NBC2 had Pan-Arab English movies that many of the region learned their accents from. That's changed, right? That's not there. There are only 12 to 15 million subscribers of Shahid, Netflix, Stars Play total, 1/10 of who used to watch terrestrial TV. So the people who ran these publishing sides and advertising sides were Arab leaders in media. That's
Yes.
gone. We have no voices. We have no one
So
trying
what are those 80-odd million people doing now? What are they watching? They just search the internet.
They're on TikTok. They're on YouTube.
really?
Like,
Wow.
yeah, they're on these channels. Like,
They're in Lovin.
they're
right?
on Lovin.
Yeah.
They're, we have a show called Mimun Khasser Social Media, who's crushing social media in Saudi. And it can get up to 20 million views a month. It's got 2.5 million subscribers. I go around to investment events in Saudi, and investors tell me they watch the show in bed with their wives. It's a gossip show.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. I show you it. Like it's been going for 4 years.
I wonder how responsible you are for birth of babies all over Saudi Arabia, right?
Well, probably the host will be the young Saudi talent.
Yeah. Pass the blame to somebody else. That's incredible. So your first staff, how many staff do you have in your office when you first started? For that 18 months that you were kind of funding it from the back pocket, how many staff do you have? Is it key when you're recruiting your first members of staff?
It is and it isn't. I kind of go with hire fast, fire fast. I like the trialing thing. in
Hire
football.
fast and fire fast.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, bring them in, test them
Gut
out.
feeling, see how it goes.
Yeah.
On their case, make sure they do the, and if they survive, you're on.
Yeah.
If not, next.
Yeah, but also I don't expect people to be as driven as me. I share.
Yeah, otherwise
the
it'll become
values.
competition.
Yeah, they would be. No, absolutely. Yeah, that's not the reason. But I don't. 9 to 5 office is good, but yeah. So we had one person to help with Infinity social media. We had one person to do some stuff. Some people left. It was in JLT. It was Astrolabs. People remember me being on my laptop all day and all night, clickbaiting when Stephen Gerrard is dancing in the up an elevator, like when Justin Bieber is running into Barasti, we're getting a million views. Like I just non-stop, every 30 minutes I had to post. Going back to the thing,
So people were feeding you all the time. Were you paying people to feed you? Were you saying, like, here's $50 or...
Lad Bible did that, we never did.
Because Lad Bible is a friend of mine friend of the
Sully
family. Yeah.
Sully, yeah.
They've done very well.
They're excellent, and they're still very good. You know, in what is a hard industry, they've made it. You know, the people won't sing their praises, but it's because they're not like tech, but they're really, really good. And we're a bit like them here. But yeah, people send us the videos, and you know what? The videos and the articles and the stuff that we did, they told a story through us. You know, whether it was telling the story of labourers and having empathy. The water, I might be bragging, but I think Lovin Dubai changed perceptions here. Journalists were getting fired for talking about labourers because they were doing it in a critical way. Vice and people at the National, they were getting fired. We were never critical. We were like people who were sending us videos that this labourer, this Kareem captain picked something off the street
In a roundabout and put it. Look at this, the hairstyle. I was watching it.
We've done 200 of them, never criticizing.
You were celebrating them.
Celebrating it,
Yes.
and we've done that in every level. Someone from the royal family came up to us in 2017 and said, "We love how you write about our royal family. You don't do it in a way that Hello magazine says what they're wearing. You write about Fazza and what he's posting on social media. We absolutely love it." People would send us videos of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed passing through restaurants, and people were like, "Are you allowed to post?"
Do you know that was my son's post?
Really?
Yes. Sheikh Mohammed wearing red top in London.
This one?
It was my son.
Okay.
He was the one who said salam alaikum, and he said alaikum wassalam back.
No way.
Yes, it was my son who took it. And you shared it. I was like, whoa, this is so cool.
That's cool.
And it was so nice. Sheikh Mohammed, His Highness, being seen walking past a restaurant in London. Small world.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and then he said it because he's a follower of your page. Now, I noticed recently, maybe it's me, my ignorance, but there was a studio, and you have your own program happening. When did that happen in this?
Yeah,
journey?
in 2018 we moved to our second office. So we had a 800 square foot and a 2,000. And in that office, there was a boardroom. We converted it into a studio. And in 2018, 27, and Facebook were allowing lives. So we did a Lovin Dubai live show. And at that time, it was to get live reach. Now it's a podcast. It's on demand. It still goes live. And then in 2022, in the pandemic, we did some live streaming for platforms, and I was reluctant to go into a studio. I thought you needed a view. I didn't want to do TV. But we built 12,000 square foot, 5 studios in Dubai Production Facility, invested in it.
Wow.
So we have a podcast studio, a YouTube studio, a TV studio, a VR room, a green screen room, and we've loads of space. So all the young media graduates from the Mohammed bin Rashid School for Journalism and AUD, they come into us. SAE come into us, and we hire from here. We don't import from magazines in the UK.
Yes.
We hire from here, and we trust them. And we build systems where we take the heat. We have legal, we take the heat. If they make mistakes, but we try and build a system at real-time publishing. So the studios is there, but we're doing piece to camera now. We're doing a lot of this storytelling on video. We're not going all original content.
How often are you live in a day?
Every
How
day,
many hours?
Across the region now, it's up to 4 or 6 hours because we're on the precipice of launching Lovin TV, a free ad-supported streaming service, because we have a live show in many cities, and I'm excited about this. I haven't fully thought it through.
Huge investments, though, right?
Yeah, there is investment, but I think going back to about moving too early, right? So I remember in 2010, someone had an e-commerce agency in Dublin, and they raised lots of money, and it's not there now. I believe in long term where the puck is going, but I think the money is in streaming in 2030 here. I don't think it's here yet. We don't have CTV revenue. Subscriptions a bit piracy. It's a bit. So I want to do what I did with Lovin. BuzzFeed are in trouble. Lovin Dubai isn't, because we created that ad unit that they had, but we made it work locally.
Are you raising money, or are you raising capital?
We're
or
not,
is it all self-funded?
It's self-funded. The $160,000 went in. We pay dividends. Our
Still the same shareholders as start.
hasn't changed. Same board, four 1-hour calls a year. That's it.
But they're passive. You're the one who's driving this.
They're bored. They're passive. Yeah, they get a monthly email. I don't miss a monthly email. They get the P&L on the 8th. My team get an email on the 1st of the month every month for 9 years. Don't miss it. And they get 4 meetings, 1 doubles as a AGM, 5 audits across the region. We publish our report every year. We're transparent. We want to list. ADX Tada will, inshallah, we'll do M&A. We'll get to $30 million revenue ourselves. We'll do M&A to get to 100 million, and we'll be the biggest in the region.
I have no doubt. Now, you said right now people are coming to you saying, I have a product, I have a launch. Is this what's happening? Every single day, people are approaching you.
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Luckily, and I love the inbound stuff. I don't mind doing the outbound, and we have good guys, but over AIDS, the DMs are still there, and the emails. You create that demand. You publish the right stuff to the right audience, and you deliver a product. And you have a system in place with the right incentives for commission and everything that people need to hit their target.
I love your energy. I think my brain doesn't stop. We can do other things that's going to be greater. Okay. A few years ago, I looked at a QVC model, which is very popular in Europe. And there was one particular program, I can't remember what they were called, Citrus TV here. And I felt they weren't utilizing, neither was Amazon at the time, they weren't utilizing the internet to sell products. They were utilizing the old TV. And, they sit there, talk about this necklace and start flogging it on. Would you think there's a huge, utilizing your studio, for instance, to do 3-4 hours of shopping online, but demonstrating it live to people rather than recorded videos or products that you click on like Amazon? I think it's a huge opportunity there. You've got traffic already.
Yeah, it's interesting. Definitely, shopping in Asia and TikTok, this thing works. You don't even need our studio. This studio, even anything, right?
Now, yes. Yeah. But you already have that, and we already have traffic. Yeah.
Yeah, on one level, yes. We like Citrus TV. We haven't seen shopping take off here as much as it has in China through social. There are attempts at it, but Instagram doesn't have it as much as TikTok. We haven't seen it as much. Influencers are trying it. Affiliate is coming more.
It's a skill. You need a certain skill for the person to sit there, to build a relationship, a trust with the audience, so the lady or the gentleman's ironing at home and go, yeah, impulse buying. I like that. I trust that person. And then the product. But more than anything else, it's the person that keeps it going for an hour.
That's true.
Doesn't get bored after 1 hour of showing a watch or a nail varnish or a hairdryer.
Facebook and everyone pulled back from live when Logan Paul went to a suicide forest
in Japan.
Yeah, and and when people were being shot in cars in Facebook and DoorDash and stuff like that, they pulled back from live because you can't advertise it, and people's attention spans. I'm fascinated by the Asian live thing. Our business model, we do have affiliate, we have AAP with Amazon, and we have Lovin shopping website, and we have articles. Wow. So we can explore that, but there's many things in media we can explore. I think the audience right now is definitely in this short TikTok stuff, and TikTok Live
They
is
don't have
growing.
the patience like they used to. Wow, amazing. Yeah. How is QVC doing now? Would you know?
I wouldn't know, but the history of it, there's a really interesting Barry Diller and all that, those people, They kind of bought it over. He then Expedia and a few other things, but no, I mean, I don't think they're the old ones. You know what's working is the drops, the websites that do the sneaker drops and the art drops, and they're like 8 a.m. in the morning, cool kids. Yes. So instead of queuing for outside the malls, like some of the sneakerheads here, like doing the drops, that type of live stuff, that type of stuff is working for shopping. But this sort of always on 8 hour thing can work. Like there's trends in TikTok. There's a thing called watch along. I just paid $200 to watch the Euros on Todd, right? Huge fee. But what's happening is
selective. You select what you want to watch, and you pay for that.
Yeah, but in Saudi and in other places, I'm trying to get our office to let people watch Ronaldo on Shaheds on the Russian Saudi Pro League, but do commentary live on our TikTok without showing the game, and people will watch that.
Yes, but so I do on Sky, for instance. Yeah. I do that. I don't watch it, but I keep up with the score and what's happening. And
it's ambient. You can do something else. It's like the radio. These little things are live, So, but yeah, you can do everything. I don't get frustrated or anxiety over not doing everything. I think we're growing in a sustainable way. I think our bet was to do text, audio, and video and try them all. And I think our bet is digital. People say to me, Rich, get the radio license. I'm like, no, like I'll set up Lovin Baghdad a podcast, and that is, Qatar doesn't have an English radio station. Does that mean you should set one up? No. Let's set up Lovin Doha podcast. And, you know, we invest in that space.
Who's doing the podcast now? Who's interviewing? Yourself? You have other people who do it?
Our format, Dariush, is 2 hosts. That's our format. 2 young people who know the city. If you listen to Lovin Riyadh show now, the stuff
2 hosts in Riyadh, 2 hosts in Dubai, 2 hosts, I see.
Yeah, and sometimes the influencer will come on and join them, or the community person who saved the cat will come in or whatever. But they, like, I was listening to the Lovin Riyadh show, 2 young girls. It's weekly now. It'll go to daily, and they're telling me stuff about Hajj that I didn't know in a populist, top of the funnel, interesting
My God,
way.
so you're constantly connected. You're watching your channels or in every city.
Yeah,
constantly.
When I'm on the bike in the morning, indoor training. On my TikTok, I have 40 accounts that I follow. That I watch every video. I watch all our 7 Snap shows in Arabic. I watch it all. I watch it all. Yeah.
So this doesn't stop.
Yeah, like
you sleep
yourself.
at night.
Yeah, I sleep peacefully.
That's good. That's important. That's to me success.
Yeah,
right.
true.
Your goals drive you, but you don't want to get too stressy. You don't have peace. But you know, cash flow helps. Cash flow helps because sometimes when money's tight, you take on clients that you don't want to take on. You work with people you don't like working with. Has that ever happened to you? Are you in a place now you pick and choose your clients, pick and choose who you work with?
I wouldn't say we pick and choose. We kind of, like, Lovin Dubai is open to all sectors and whatever. But if a deal doesn't happen, or if someone says they don't want to work with us, we don't care. And that's a nice place to be in. There's 9 or 10,000 restaurants in Dubai. There's how many SMEs? They can all advertise on us. The lucky thing that we have is that people don't, you know, if you're a tabloid like TMZ or New York Post or The Sun, you know, there was a podcast from Cannes this week, should advertisers advertise on news, and it's all about brand safety. People advertise on Lovin Dubai. Now, some will see a post and say, we don't like that, and they'll pause, and we're not worried. We're not worried because we know if they do come to us at some point, we'll give them a good product and a good service. It's like if someone comes to your restaurant or not, someone chooses your food, someone like Italian or not. We see it like that. I really see it as a kitchen.
Do you work with the prospect to show them our return on investments?
We do, but we don't compete with the lower funnel Facebook ROI stuff. We do. We guarantee what we're going to deliver for them.
And then you know the stats, how that funnel works, and eventually how many will turn up at the hairdressers or a beauty salon or
exactly. Like, you know, the thing about Facebook and Google and everything, you can quantify it, but you're limited with creative units. If you ask Google to come and help open your restaurant, there isn't a person to talk to, even AI. If you ask Lovin Dubai, I can send you a 25-year-old host down with the mic to run around the restaurant for 4 hours and to guarantee you 100,000 impressions on Instagram with a report in 7 days, with a reel, an appearance on the show, with an article that has SEO benefits. All these things are measurable with the sponsored newsletter that has 40,000 subscribers. And these are data. This is an affluent Dubai-based audience. We know
active.
We know they live in Dubai.
Connecting all the time.
This is the beauty of it. We will write about you. We will write about people who live here. We're not interested in the other people. We're not actually a tourism platform.
You couldn't be here at a better time. I think I was having a look at my database of people in my tribe. Didn't realize 30% of them, and I have millions, are in Brazil.
Ah, okay.
9% in Bangladesh, 19% in India, 1.5% in Dubai. Minute, but yours all or majority are in that city.
Yeah.
Isn't it interesting? Although my numbers are huge, 1.5%, it could be still 1 million people. However, yours are all in that city, in that region, and they're constantly connected.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if I was going to do an event in Brazil, I'll probably get packed.
You probably would.
But
you should.
Well, I did one. I did one in Miami to Brazilians, and it was the World Cup, and Brazil lost. And I was doing a motivational event. So in the middle of my motivational talk, we had to stop, watch the game, Brazil lose, and I had to motivate people. I was like, double my money.
Was the Croatia one or the Germany one?
I think it's the one that was really close, and it was abysmal.
The recent one?
The recent World Cup, yes.
When they lost to Croatia.
A couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Semi-finals, yes. It must have been a Russian one that Brazil got knocked out of. But the atmosphere in the room was pretty bad. I said, right, Dariush, get up now, motivate them.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure, man. It's been 1 hour.
Amazing.
I'd love to do this again.
Absolutely.
I've got so much to ask you, so much fascinating. Richard, congratulations.
Thank you.
What's happening this year? What's your short-term goals, medium-term goals?
We have
Are you going to
targets.
sell this company in one day?
No. No, we want to become the house.
So Lovin in every city in the Middle East. That's your target. Middle East? Your
There are
own GCC?
461 cities in the Middle East. I don't know. I think we want to be utility. We want to build a media business. We'll see where it takes us. The lovely thing is I have a relationship with my board. I don't need to... I'm moving into AI, we're moving these things, but I don't need to say we're going to do this, this and this and
Just
when.
do it.
Yeah, we have targets this year. We make 3-year plans, but we kind of work off 1-year plans. You know, we have targets this year, but we are going that direction. I have a mission on the wall. I have a map. You know, it's like a risk board. I have a map, and I'm kind of like digital IP and our own platform. So digital IP and this region. Our own platforms is IP, but this region. So when someone says Mumbai or South Africa, I go, that's not one of these 3. So when someone says radio station, that's not one of these 3. Someone says do an agency, that's not one of these 3. So you can say no to certain stuff. We don't do events, we don't do talent management because it's not our IP.
Wow.
So,
it's easy to say yes to other opportunities, but it takes your focus away.
Yeah. So we only say yes to things that are, so, you know, we only say, you know, I want to do North Africa properly. I met with someone from Tunisia yesterday. I have calls from Algeria. I know Morocco's up and coming, but not yet. You know, the risk board, how many men do you put in at what point?
How much on average is it, if you don't have to share it, on average is an investment to open up a city?
It's changed over the years. We're finding ways to do it more cost effective every time. We have Egypt now. We have 40 full-time employees who do 8 hours a day in Egypt on...
Mainly Arabic?
Yeah, they do English as well. 12 developers.
Do you speak Arabic?
I أتكلم شوي عربي. Like I understand. I watch all the shows. I don't know which dialect I
It
speak.
helps, doesn't it? Right. In watching your shows, you need to know what they're saying.
Yeah.
Incredible. Absolutely amazing. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you, and then congrats to you too.
And I know the future's extremely bright, so just remember my name. Yeah, and I'll take a number. We'll just connect. Don't ignore me, whatever you do.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Absolute honor, my friend.
For having me in. Nice to meet you. Thanks.